Since the release of the Fallout TV show, there has been a drastic increase in the player base of all the games, but also the reignited spark in some of the heated debates, such as the one where people are upset that people's first entry into the game franchise is Fallout 4, as it's most likely due to being the most recent single-player Fallout. And I don't necessarily see why it's such a bad thing for people's first Fallout game to be the fourth one. It's easy to take a side and crap on the opinions of others, but I think it's important to understand why mostly fans of Fallout 3 and New Vegas are disappointed in the spike of games like Fallout 4 and even 76, which is the online version of the series. Firstly, this is a great moment for Fallout fans as the series is basically coming into a bigger spotlight again. It's a great feeling seeing some of your favorite games shoot straight up in popularity becoming the big thing to talk about, many more people to relate with, and many more topics and conversations sprouting up. Also, bigger opportunities for the future. Now with anything someone really likes and they're coming into something you've been enjoying for much longer than them, you're really just hoping they get put onto the best of the best. At least that's my thought process. I want them to really get drawn into the truest experience possible. For many Fallout fans, most of them would commonly agree that Fallout New Vegas did it best, with Fallout 3 being the next best, which I would agree with, but I don't agree with the notion that you shouldn't start with Fallout 4. I actually think it's a really great game and doesn't look unrecognizable to the others. It mostly just plays differently and the world storytelling can be weaker most of the time, but I've seen far worse in other franchises where games will be completely different than their previous entry. It happens too much, and I don't think Fallout 4 does that. It still feels like Fallout, so why is it not a bad choice to play Fallout 4 first? Before going further, this video is brought to you by Manscaped. It's the perfect time to shop for Father's Day or even for yourself, as Manscaped is trusted by 10 million men worldwide for their hygienic needs. Let me introduce you to the Handyman, the compact tool that is reliable to fixing and maintaining your facial hair. This has an advanced dual blade outfitted with the standard foil shaver alongside a long hair leveler blade that can take down 3 days worth of growth. You also don't have to worry so much about nicks and cuts as it features skin-safe technology. It's also safe putting underwater to rinse it off. You can take this on a plane and charge it whenever needed. The battery will last up to 60 minutes on a single charge. But let me also introduce you to the Weed Whacker 2.0, designed for trimming nose and ear hair. This has a 7,000 RPM motor and a 360-degree revolving dual blade system. It has a battery life of 45 minutes and is easily rechargeable with the same ability of being able to rinse it off under running water. Take a look at others like the Beard Hedger, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, and the Shears 3.0. Treat yourself and your father to these tools by heading over to manscaped.com to get 20% off with free international shipping when you use my promo code Wheezy at checkout. Thank you, and back to the video.
I'll find who did this, and I'll get Sean back. I promise.
I've been playing since Fallout 3, and I don't think for a moment that I did not enjoy my time with Fallout 4. There's not much story connecting you have to do to understand the plot, and there's a lot of fun to be had. Some that you couldn't get in New Vegas in 3, like settlement building. As imperfect and buggy as it can be, it was a pretty great addition for a new system introduced to the series, making a place truly yours and building it up to your liking. The gameplay is still fun and satisfying with the whole arsenal of weapons to use and also customize. It's great running around with some melee weapons and bonking just about anything, or using weapons of mass destruction to go overkill. The things I've always loved about Fallout was still there and just felt more well-rounded. Every playthrough of a game involves two main decisions. Am I playing this seriously, or am I going in causing the most chaos possible? The choice is still yours in Fallout 4, and some people may even hate having a voice protagonist, but I never really minded it, especially when you could still be a sarcastic jerk all the way through.
I'm just looking for the mayonnaise. Maybe you could grab it for me. Second shelf, right next to the pudding.
That's not funny. That's not funny at all. What kind of horrible person would say that to a kid stuck in a refrigerator?
I would understand if this is a battle of identity, but I think the games blend well enough between each other to not be that. Instead, it's a battle of preferences, what you enjoy playing more. I don't think as a Fallout fan it was that hard to get through a playthrough of Fallout 4. But if I'm having more fun on New Vegas, then of course I'm going to play that infinitely more times. I think if fans of the show enjoy their playthroughs of Fallout 4 and 76, then they will surely come on over to the other ones, and even the OG Fallout 1 and 2. But back to Fallout 4, I said there was fun that the previous ones you couldn't get in. If you're a console player and want to experience the mods, well, that's only on Fallout 4. The game itself looks appealing to me. I always love the environments and the charismatic Vault-Tec mascot. The perk chart that can, although be very confusing, is still pretty expansive and rewarding. The most rewarding part of any of the Fallout games is exploring, and you're only more encouraged here. There will always be neat surprises waiting for you, and you most certainly won't find everything on your first playthrough. I know I still haven't explored everything. The DLCs aren't the strongest, but one like Far Harbor makes it worth checking them out. For some people, Fallout 4 just looks and feels smoother than 3 in Vegas. And when you get used to that, it can be harder going back and playing something that's outdated. For that reason, I would recommend playing the others beforehand if you're afraid you won't be able to get captivated by them. Fallout 4 is fleshed out and made the gameplay more fun. More elements complement each other. When you're out exploring the wasteland, you're encouraged to pick up all the random junk because you can dump it into all your settlements spread throughout the wasteland. And you may not be crazy about spending hours decorating and building up one, but the features a settlement can provide may be too good to pass up. A place to store all your loot, set up your own traders to make caps, having produced your own water, which can help spamming in combat for health. You don't get that in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. The closest you get is to owning rooms. The same may go for the satisfaction with roaming and taking out enemies. Overall, it feels better, smoother, and just looks cleaner. I'd say it definitely competes with the others, as the most fun I had in 3 in Vegas was using the vast amount of weapons in the game. But Fallout 4 expanded upon it with more weapon customization.
Nice to see you. Carry on.
I'm not trying to dunk on Fallout 3 in New Vegas, but I also don't want to pretend like Fallout 4 is a bad game. I trust people to enjoy their time with 4 enough that they'll want to explore these games, and they should. They both have a world full of fun decisions that test if your curiosity will bring you to do evil decisions for the sake of doing something epic. I do think the stories are better, and it will take time to adjust getting into one of these games if you're coming off Fallout 4 as your first one. But the worlds are beautiful, even in older graphics, which I think just make it feel much more classic. Fallout 3 has a more green tint and drab look, while New Vegas makes it more orange in a desert environment. You may even like the jank of these games a lot more and appreciate everything you can do in the world. Or maybe you'll like not having a voiced protagonist, making it much more immersive as if you truly are your character. I get Fallout 4 isn't for everyone, but I do think the outrage over playing whichever game has been pretty crazy. The only one I wouldn't defend as well is Fallout 76 because it does play a lot differently and it has to in order to be multiplayer. I would always recommend getting a true single-player Fallout experience before going into 76 unless you're purely looking to play with others, which then I understand. But as far as the first-person single-player shooters, the lineup of Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4 is a pretty dang good collection and can be played in any order without missing hardly anything. And if you feel anything is lacking, then add some mods. The modding community always carries these games, making them live much longer. So does it matter what Fallout game you play first or stick to the most? No, I really don't see the big deal.